My Lupus Living Room is a place to listen to the stories of ordinary, everyday people who are not afraid to share the struggles and successes of living with a chronic illness called lupus. These brave Lupians put it all out there to bring us all in. We celebrate people living with lupus. My name is Suzanne. I am a mom, a wife, a business owner, and the CEO of the Lupus Foundation of America's Great Ohio chapter, and a whole lot more. But most of all, I have lupus. My purpose and my passion are to help other people with lupus. For me, lupus was a lonely, miserable, misunderstood disease, and I'm here to tell you that today it doesn't have to be. I want to talk more about the things we do not normally talk about. Since lupus impacts mostly women, My Lupus Living Room will have a focus on what it's like to be a woman living with this mysterious, unpredictable disease that has no cause or cure. I know that many would love to connect with others that have lupus. These women are fearless and have extraordinary stories of survival. I'm excited to welcome my not-so-famous guests, and with their inspiring stories that offer hope and inspiration to fellow Lupians. I believe this project will not only create awareness about lupus, but offer encouragement to those listening. Remember, there is no I in the word lupus, but there is the word us. The Lupus Foundation of America, Great Ohio chapter is here for you. For your chance to share your story and visit with me, you can reach out to me at Suzanne at Lupus Great Ohio or call 1-888-NO-LUPUS. So for now, sit back, relax, and enjoy.
Alrighty then. All right. Welcome to My Lupus Living Room. I am Adrienne Fernandez, and this is Alex Acevedo, who I will introduce a little more in a minute. But as you will notice, Suzanne Tierney is on a much needed, well-deserved vacation. So we are filling in today. And we thought we would take the opportunity to really give you an overview of what our friend Alex here does in the Lupus Foundation office, what his responsibility is, a little bit about him, because he's been here a year. So, or just about a year, I would say. Yay, Alex. And he does a lot. So this is sort of your behind the scenes look at what's going on in the office and what Alex does and his role and responsibility. And we'll talk about that in a minute. But I do want to say, if any medical information comes up, which it really shouldn't today, on this podcast. But if it does, remember that your physician is the best source of medical information for you. And you should always speak with them before starting any new lifestyle change, protocol, medication, anything like that. So always be sure to check with your physician. So Alex.
Adrienne, hi. It's so nice to meet you.
It's so nice to meet you too, Alex. So as I was saying, you've been here almost a year, right?
Mm-hmm, yep.
And what is your title?
There's two technically. One is an acronym.
Yeah.
But I'm the digital assets manager. Suzanne will often refer to me as her DAM guy, D-A-M, DAM.
It's a true story.
And then I also serve as the office manager too.
Okay. So what does that mean for everybody out there? What do you do in the Lupus Foundation office?
So, I mean, a little bit of everything. Obviously during COVID and, before I was here, you guys realized that you needed to switch to basically an all digital model there for a couple of years. Obviously you guys weren't doing any in-person support groups, educational programs, really anything. So I manage all of those platforms still. Obviously we got back to in-person. Thankfully in the past year, we did a couple in-person events, but now they are going to be hybrid, just to give those constituents an option if they want to stay home, if they're not comfortable coming out, or maybe they're just not feeling well and can't attend in person that morning, they can still jump online and watch and attend and participate. So manage all of those platforms. I manage the website. I help out with marketing with McKenna and Beth, with social media. What else do I do this podcast? Beth is helping out today. If I could turn the camera, I would, but it's a little too far away, but she's back there and she's giving me a half excited, half,
giving you
how dare
up.
you look. Yeah. So I help out with the podcast. I am the driver for when we go to Columbus and all around the state.
Literally the driver.
Yeah. I'm the chauffeur.
The actual
at times.
chauffeur.
Yeah. I don't know. What else do I do? What I forget?
Well, you do lots. You do lots and lots of things. So, and you help coordinate a million things in the office, like especially if I'm not available or Suzanne's not available or we need assistance with something, you always are kind of knowledgeable about all the operations of the office. So you're the one that sort of jumps in and helps get those things done.
I'm the gopher.
The gopher. Yeah. You're the jack of all trades, right? You pretty much can get everything done that we need to get done in the office. But I mean, to be fair, the behind the scenes operations of the Lupus Foundation office here in Ohio, there's a lot going on all the time. So whether we're writing and producing the magazine, don't forget the printer. The printer, Alex is in charge. We have a very large printer in our office, and Alex is in charge. I don't know if he would really appreciate me saying he's in charge of the printer.
That happened by accident.
But he knows what's going on with the printer. So that helps us because there's always a jam or something crazy going on.
Paper
setting, something crazy going on. So he does that as well. And don't forget, you are also instrumental in making sure that our app, the app was up and running. So that was Alex. So Alex does, and like you said, the website is under your responsibility. So really, he's doing a lot behind the scenes. And now you'll see when we're getting back in person. For example, we just had our Metro Health Summit. And he was the person that got all the technology set up, made sure everything was running efficiently, made sure the sound was appropriate, all the things that we need, in addition to making sure that the people at home could see the summit. So again, we're giving that hybrid option to people, and Alex is the person that ensures that that can happen. So in our new worlds post-COVID, he is the person that allows everything to run smoothly that we need to run smoothly. Because I'm not that person, and I know Suzanne will agree with me and say she's not that person. So that's what he does. So he also is instrumental in working on a lot of the events. So we have a lot of events and fundraising things that go on. He does help me plan educational summits and programs. I know he helps Rita, our lead patient navigator, out with a lot of the things she does. But why don't you tell us a little bit about some of the things that you know we might in this next 6 months to a year be looking at doing? I mean, we're still planning.
Yes.
We're still planning. We're still in that phase.
So asterisk by anything we're talking about, but a lot of the stuff we're pretty solidified. Obviously, we don't have dates or specifics yet. But obviously, we'll be doing walks this year, as we do every year. We are hoping to get to all 3 major cities. Obviously, this year we brought Columbus back. So we're really trying to work down even further south and get back to the Cincinnati area this year as well, and still do Columbus and Cleveland. So with that being said, we're going to be sending out surveys probably here within the next, I'll be conservative, 6 weeks. So just check your inboxes. We want your help in the planning process, so to speak. So we really want your feedback on where you would like to see a walk, what you would like there to be there as far as activities, vendors, that kind of thing, time of day, really anything that pertains to day of event. We really want your input on. So hopefully sooner than that, but at least in the next 6 weeks, you'll probably be seeing some surveys coming around. So fill those out and help us out with that. We'd really appreciate it. We got a jewelry fundraiser coming up that we haven't really announced yet. So sneak preview. We're going to be partnering with Kendra Scott the weekend of Thanksgiving. So the Sunday after Thanksgiving and then through Cyber Monday and Giving Tuesday at their Cincinnati location and their Cleveland location, as well as online. So we'll be putting out more specifics probably within the next week, I would imagine, about that. But they're going to be donating a portion of sales in those 2 stores and then online from that weekend to us. So that's going to be awesome. And we can't thank them enough. What else do we have? We are planning a couple different educational programs, our usual educational programs that are just more informational with physicians. We have a couple of those coming up that we're working on, but we also, Adrienne's brainchild, we're trying to do what we're going to call a wellness summit of sorts. So kind of a mixture of our minority retreat that we did this past year and a typical educational summit. So there'll be some, informational sessions with physicians, I'm sure, but also just overall wellness. So, whether it be diet or stretching or exercise or things like that.
Even little things like maybe blood pressure and perhaps, I hate to say this, but like peeing on a stick, making sure that your protein is okay as far as your kidneys.
Yeah.
So we know that's really important in lupus patients. So we're looking at doing maybe a handful of things that are really focused towards the wellness of our lupus patients. So that'll be probably springtime.
Yeah. And that'll be more of a workshop of sorts, would you say?
Something like a workshop, Alex. That's right.
And also in February, we're actually doing a lupus night at the Columbus Blue Jackets game. So again, we'll be releasing more details about that, but we'll be doing that, and they will donate a portion of the ticket sales using our code that we will push out there to the chapter as well. So that'll be something fun for everybody in the Columbus area and really any hockey fan to do. I believe that's going to be on a Friday night as well. So that'll be fun. We have that coming up.
We have all of our magazines.
Yeah, the usual
out.
suspects, magazines, newsletters, all that good stuff.
That's right. And then May is going to be huge.
Yeah, May, we have advocacy. We're going back to DC this year. And our top 2 fundraisers from the walks, Rosie Chapman from Columbus and Ariel Shelton from the Cleveland Walk, will be accompanying Suzanne along to the nation's capital to talk to legislators. So that'll be fun and very important. That always brings a lot as far as research and awareness. And while we do that here in the state constantly, it is good to get national exposure on that too.
Absolutely. They're always working on a huge front there with a lot of money. And that's where a lot of the research dollars are driven from. So that's really important.
Yeah. TOD, CDC, all that stuff.
Exactly.
That's how that happens. So that's really important. So that'll be fun. May, Lupus Awareness Month, Pop Day. So that'll be,
got all that to look forward to.
Yeah.
We're thinking we may have our, Cincinnati walk then, but we're not quite decided on that. So we're still talking. So we can't say 100%.
The tough part with that is we get, if we're lucky, 4 to 5 months of a window of weather in Ohio. And we really don't for all of our patients and in some ways us too, because we're running around crazy. We don't want to have it in the dead of summer.
Yeah.
So we're trying to avoid late June, July at all costs.
Sunlight, that heat.
Yeah,
all
exactly.
Of that happens,
yeah. So, August and September historically have been Columbus and Cleveland. So we're trying to figure out where Cincinnati fits into that too. So it's looking like early to late spring, somewhere in there. But
somewhere in there. So
again, nothing confirmed.
But possibly Lupus Awareness Month. We're looking at that. And we also are talking about our spring summit and when and where and that's going to be held, but potentially May as well. So keep your eyes and ears open for those things. So we have a lot that we're doing all the time behind the scenes, and just to make sure things are running, especially even with our support groups and getting that communication out. And, we have a lot as far as advocacy, our lead patient navigator, Rita, and myself, we were talking this morning about pharmacy benefit managers, that's going on. So we have a lot of these little things that go on sort of all the time in the background. So while you're not necessarily getting a magazine every single week, we're always busy, always doing things. And Alex is definitely a strong component of that, where he is helping to drive a lot of the processes and things that are going on in the office. So, that being said, Alex, do you have anything else you want to add to?
Real quick, because you brought Rita up. Along those lines, I do believe, and she's sitting right over there, but the navigators are making calls right now, right? Yeah, so they are going to be calling you or may have already called you, all of the patients. They're not calling to, ask you for anything. They're just calling to check on you. So either answer the phone if you see them calling, or if you can't and they leave a message, please call them back. All they're doing is calling to check on you, ask you if you need anything, how you're doing, if you'd like to see us do anything else. That's literally it. So just a check-in call. So please look for those and give them any feedback that you have.
Yeah. So if you need any extra help or want to talk to us about any of our services, you can always ask your patient navigator about that. So they are doing that, like Alex said, right now. So if they call, pick up the phone, say hello, just chat. But okay, anything else you want to add to that?
No.
Okay. So I guess what I want to ask you is, you want to share anything personal about yourself, about Alex?
My gosh. Yeah. What would that entail?
Well, I don't know. You have a little bug that probably follows you around.
Yes, I do have a 4-year-old daughter, 4.5 now, actually.
Yeah.
Her name is Avery. She is adorable, but also a 4.5-year-old too.
Yeah.
So
But she's so cute. She's got blonde hair and blue eyes and a big smile.
Yeah,
and Alex likes to take her hiking.
Yeah, we go on a lot of hikes. Just try to keep her outside as much as possible. She's got a lot of energy, so.
Yeah, I don't know where she gets that.
Yeah, I was gonna say
no one knows where she gets that at all.
So
Alex does have a lot of energy.
She keeps me busy. Yes, I also have a girlfriend. Her name is Emily.
Yes.
So we're pretty much always outside whenever we can be. Trying to keep her busy. Emily's really good at art too, so that helps because can't draw a stick figure to save my life. So
she draws with Avery.
Yeah, draws, colors, all that stuff. Oh yeah. When we do chalk in the driveway, she's like, Daddy, draw something with all I can draw is a house, like the stereotypical box, and then do the 2 lines after it. I'm out.
So she probably appreciates the new chalk creativity that's going on in her world.
100%. Yeah, we go to all the chalk festivals that we can.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, so, yeah.
Yeah. So she's definitely the center of your world. And Alex is an outdoorsman. So like he said, they're always outside. And so he likes to definitely. And the other thing that's fun about you is, well, I don't know if I'd call it fun anymore. You like to remind us that the cure for everything in your world is a cold shower.
Yes.
So if anybody walks in and we
showers
say,
or ice baths.
Yeah, we're sick. Take an ice bath. Take a cold shower.
Yeah,
and he lives by it and he does it himself. From what I understand. So we have to hear about this all the time.
It does.
Yeah.
Look at I know you're big into science. There's peer-reviewed data.
Yes,
there's more and more coming out.
I keep trying to explain to him that lupus patients have Raynaud's, so that a cold shower bath may not be the best option for us.
Well, that's what. So good thing we did. Yeah, see, I told you. I knew something was going to come out.
That's the best person for information about the treatment of your disease.
Yeah.
So
I do like my cold water. It's good for you.
Yeah, it's good for you. And before you came to the Lupus Foundation, you were in an entirely different industry.
I was for 11 years actually before I came here. I worked in the animal care industry, so primarily in boarding and daycare. I'm in grooming, but the second, so I worked at one place for 6 years, one place for 5, almost 6 years. The second place was also a veterinary hospital too, so I didn't really do much in the way of like actual medical care, but I helped with marketing and stuff there as well. So
right.
Yeah.
So it wasn't so kind of an easy transition.
Yeah, it's the same thing
coming here.
Well, I went to school for marketing and management, and I was helping with the marketing with all of those businesses as well. So it wasn't too, the biggest change was I could actually hear myself think during the day here. That was the first thing I noticed. It's like, wow, it's so quiet.
It's quiet.
I'm used to being around barking or meowing for, 8 to 12 hours a day.
Kind of have to say it's not really quiet in our office though.
Yeah, but
it's just a different kind of noise.
It's not. Yeah, it doesn't like rattle, like shake and vibrate.
You and Brian talk about sports a lot.
Yeah,
there's a lot of sports talk.
Well, we know how much you guys love that.
So the rest of us in the office definitely.
Yeah,
Beth's giving us a thumbs up. She's like, yeah, no, we don't. Beth and I don't do sports. We don't. So, and Suzanne has to put up with all of us. So
I was sitting at the library one day, doing marketing stuff for my other job, and I got a random email from a lady named Suzanne. She said, "I'm Suzanne Tierney, the CEO of the Lupus Foundation." And I actually felt bad about it at the time, but hearing her talk and like learning about it now, not so much. The first thing I did, I'm like, well, that job sounds kind of cool. But what the heck is lupus? So like, that's what I Googled, but now I felt bad at the time, but now hearing that, it's not a lot of people do know about it. I'm like, oh, well.
Yeah. Makes you feel better, especially when you talk to our legislators. Alex was our driver going down to the State House this year for our advocacy. So he got really a crash course in what lupus is and our experiences with lupus and really everything from A to Z about lupus. So I'd say you're pretty well versed at this point in time.
I can deliver the spiel.
That's right. Sure. And between myself, Suzanne, and Kathy, as everybody knows, because we're very open about it and we share that we have lupus, whatever you haven't learned, you will hear about because we share it. So we're very open in the office about that.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, anything else you want to share about before we wrap up our podcast today?
No, unless you got me. You can
No,
ask away.
I'm just training you to be, future CEO of the organization. So
I was wondering if you were going to say that in here.
I think I am.
Well
I think I
played.
am.
Well
yeah,
played.
well played.
That was a good.
As you can see, there's a lot of teasing that goes on in our office, but that's okay. It makes it fun when we're working so hard. Work hard, play hard.
Yes.
So thank you, Alex Acevedo. We appreciate it, and we appreciate all the work you're doing for the office. And I know that I couldn't do what you do, so I really need you around. So
Adrienne keeps trying to give me a 5-year contract. She slides it under my desk every day.
Yeah, I'm trying.
Like, here, just sign here. This is a emergency contact update form.
That's right. He wants a lot of technical equipment, and I say, well, we'll buy it if you promise to give me a 5-year commitment. But now he's resisting me because I keep bringing it up. So it worked against me. But anyhow, thank you for joining us today. And we will be here again next month with Suzanne. And I think we're already talking about potentially having another patient come on. So we'll bring you her story next month. So
yeah. And I did think of something to say. Sorry to cut you off.
That's fine.
If anybody does want to be a part of their podcast, or they know somebody that does want to share their story, feel free to reach out to me. My email is alex@lupusgreaterohio. You can email just the general office email, which is info@lupusgreaterohio.org. So yeah, or you could give us a call too. But if anybody wants to share their story, we'd love to have you.
Always thinking about marketing. Thanks.
Remember, there is no I in lupus, but there is an us. Until next time, this has been My Lupus Living Room with the Lupus Foundation of America's Great Ohio Chapter. For more information and resources to help you in your lupus journey, please visit lupusgreaterohio.org or call 1-888-NO-LUPUS. The funding for My Lupus Living Room is an earmark from the state of Ohio and managed by the Ohio Department of Health. Your physician is the best person to help you in the treatment of lupus. The information you learn here today can be discussed with your doctor, as your physician knows your medical history best. Please do not make any medical changes without consulting your physician first. As with any treatment, stay educated and get information from trusted sources.